going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is a review for WWE NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Oh my god, this show was spectacular beginning to end. I don't know that I've seen a better match than one in particular that we're going to get into, and most people, if they've seen it, already know what I'm talking about. Absolutely stellar, killer. Call it what you want, call it 5-star, call it 10 out of 10. It was amazing and then some. NXT TakeOver did what I think wrestling should be doing at this point. It cut out a lot of filler. There were very little for promo. There were no backstage bits. It was just wrestling. And some damn good matches. Some highly athletic matches. You start out with the War Raiders, and they're going up against the Undisputed Era. And it's Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Bobby Fish is out there with them. And it really sets the pace for this pay-per-view. On the Undisputed Era, it really doesn't matter which of the four guys are in a match. It's going to be a damn good match. And they have killed at virtually every takeover. And so they're taking on the War Raiders, who I'm not very familiar with. I've seen them a couple of times, and they're a couple of really big guys that can really move. And when I say really move, I mean deceptively quick, deceptively agile. It's actually kind of freakish. So it really set a really good tone. It was fast-paced, even with the big guys. And we all know that I talk about I'm not necessarily a fan of big guys in wrestling, because they're slow, they're cumbersome, they're a little awkward. These guys really aren't. And it's actually amazing to watch. So there was just some very cool spots all the way through. Some like really quick back and forth, trading off pin attempts and spots that you would not see coming. One of the War Raiders, he does this like handspring off the ropes into a back double elbow like you see the luchadors do. And it's like, you know what, dude, you win that vote right there. Like, that was just cool. It was just a damn good match. At the end of the day, the War Raiders, they kind of dominate a little bit. Like, there was a good back and forth there. It wasn't a squash match by any means, but they came out strong. They had a couple of good strong spots in the middle, and they came out strong in the end, and they won. So new NXT Tag Team Champions in the War Raiders. Really fucking good way to start this pay-per-view. It really was. And as a matter of fact, it was so good that I felt like anybody that followed, the pressure was already on. And so the next match was Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno. And this would have been an amazing match had it not just followed the match that started. It would have felt a lot better, I think, because I can't say enough about that first match. Like, it really was great. And then the second match, it was really good. Matt Riddle, I have not seen him in the ring yet, and so, you know, last time I saw him was his introductory at the last TakeOver, and now he's here facing Cassius Ohno, who he knocked out on the first match. And so it was really good. Like, I really like this dude. He's got a lot of talent for sure. His background in mixed martial arts clearly shows through in his matches, and the guy has got a really good sense of like selling, I think. Like, there were moments where he's supposed to be in pain, and he really sold it for what it was worth, and then he sold like getting angry at the end. And I really like how they ended this match. They're trying to build up Matt Riddle as this legitimate badass, of course, being an MMA guy. And he gets in there, and the end of the match is he just starts dropping bombs on Cassius Ohno with his elbow. You know, doing the whole fucking just smash, the pound and ground thing. Ground and pound. Yeah, that's what it is. But it really sold because Cassius Ohno taps out from the ground and pound. And I thought that was great. I really liked the way they finished that. So hats off. I thought that was an amazing finish. You don't see it too often. And it just established Matt Riddle's dominance. So it was very cool. Next match, third match of the night. Now you've only got 5 matches here. 5 matches, and like I said, no wasted movement in this pay-per-view. It was only like 2.5 hours. But this match right here was worth the price of the WWE Network by itself. I don't give a shit. This was worth the price of WWE Network every month for the rest of the year. This could have been my favorite match that I have ever seen of all time. That says a lot because honestly, I'm into storytelling. I like characters. I really like, like Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat. An absolute classic of a match. The Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. I like storytelling in wrestling. This was just balls to the wall, beginning to end, non-stop wrestling. And I don't know how these guys were still standing at the end of this match. For a bunch of reasons, let alone putting their bodies on the line and just going absolutely crazy with some of the moves they had. Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet, dude. This belongs at least in the top 3 matches of all time. It was nuts. And it's funny because I was on Twitter all last night, and instantly, before the match was even over, everybody was talking about this is match of the year. This is match of the year. Match of the year candidate. And I agree, it has to be. Like, I don't see how anybody's going to top this. It was just... Ricochet, he's like a Cirque du Soleil performer putting on a wrestling match. He is so fucking talented. The guy is just ridiculous, amazing. You cannot say enough good about Ricochet in the ring. He is my favorite performer to watch. Easily, bar none right now. The guy is just ridiculous. And Johnny Gargano has not pulled off a bad match that I've seen in the last 5 years. The guy has just killed everything he's done. And Gargano, he just got match of the year for last year, and I think he just put on match of the year for this year too. Like, I don't know if this dude knows how to have a bad match. He's just got this certain sense about a wrestling match, how to create it, the spots to make, and he goes all in for sure. And he always does something in his matches that just make you say, oh shit. And this match would be no exception, pulling back the mat on the concrete outside, and then they wind up doing a suplex spot out there. He always does something that makes you cringe, and he puts his body through hell. There is no getting around that. Ricochet, dude, some of the shit he does in this match is ridiculous. So fucking talented. At the end of the day, Johnny Gargano, he gets the championship, and I don't know that I could have been any happier in a match. I really don't. Johnny Gargano, he deserved a belt for sure. He's been the workhorse of NXT, and he's just that damn talented. So, you move on to Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler. Two very alpha women, in the characters anyway. And it really was very cool to watch. And again, they kind of had the same problem that Riddle and Ono had. Like, they're following the match of the night. Easily the match of the whole week. Like, I guarantee you right now, there is not going to be a match tap Johnny Gargano and Ricochet. I hate to say that because I would love to see somebody top it. I don't see it happening. So Belair and Baszler, they're going from 120 miles an hour to, having to slow the pace down a little bit more methodical match, a little bit more storytelling to it. And it was a very good match. I thought the women killed it. There was a couple of spots that made you cringe, actually. And one of them was a spot where Shayna Baszler has her foot on Bianca's shoulder, and she drops down and pulls the arm, and you can see the shoulder pop up, and I was like, oh god, I hope she didn't just hurt her for real. And I guess her shoulder just pops like that, but it was nasty looking. There was another really cool spot where Belair, she takes her hair and she does the whip thing, and so she whips Shayna Baszler in the stomach, and it was loud, bro. Like, it sounded like a gunshot going off. And then you cut away, and you actually see it cut Shayna Baszler, not deep or anything, it was, but you could definitely see the blood on Shayna Baszler's stomach from that hair whip. That was a shot, dude. You could tell it hurt her. So it was a very cool match. They had some cool spots. They had a little bit of color there, which added some legitimacy to it. Of course, Baszler's partners, they get in, they interfere, they help Baszler get the win. Bianca Belair takes her first loss. Still, kind of doing the 4 horsewomen thing. So it is what it is. It worked. It looked cool. I liked it. The last match of the night, Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black. I was really surprised with this match. They went a lot more slow and methodical, which I think they had to do with this match. I mean, there was definitely the storytelling bit, and Tommaso, being the crafty heel that he is, goes after the leg of Aleister Black a lot during this match, and I mean a lot. And it kind of took away Black Mass, and that was kind of the whole thing they were building up to. And it did wind up working for Ciampa. There was a couple of spots toward the end where Aleister Black, he's going for Black Mask, he can't do it. And it just really sold. The match was very good. You still had some really cool moments. Aleister Black kicking Ciampa off the top rope, and they both spilled to the outside. Looked pretty nasty. And just all around. I am a big fan of Aleister Black, and I hope that this means that he's being called up today, because Ciampa won. He's now, doing his thing with heel with Johnny Gargano, it seems. And at the end of the whole show, Gargano and Ciampa were standing on the ramp, and they're both holding up their belts looking at each other, so it looks like now we have DIY reformed. And it's really cool how they're doing this whole DIY thing, because obviously you had the tag team, they won the championships, they split apart, had this absolutely amazing feud that I don't know that could be topped. Like, Ciampa and Gargano is one of my favorite wrestling feuds ever. It just killed. And so now to see them kind of coming back together slowly as a heel faction, it's very cool. I really like it. So ladies and gentlemen, this beginning to end, like I said, no wasted motion, such a damn good pay-per-view. There were a couple of choices that if I had my personal input on it, I would have, maybe done a little differently, but it's personal flavor, and I can't really judge that. They have, they have to put on a show, they have to set it up how they see fit, and I don't have a problem with that. And that's why I say, sometimes they just don't put in the effort on Raw and SmackDown. Like, this is a good show. This is why I watch wrestling. And it was phenomenal. It was absolutely the most amazing shit I've ever seen. And I have to give it a 10 out of 10. I don't normally do that, and there's a lot of reasons for that. This deserved it. Every single person last night put on a hell of a show. They put their bodies on the line. Some of them it really showed. And they were all incredibly talented. And so I have to give it a 10 out of 10. So that's where I'm at, ladies and gentlemen. That's NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Just, if you have not seen it yet, go watch it. It's so damn good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Kaged Nation out.